lot of followers just like me, but for some reason society doesn't see it. I'm hoping that this actually exposes that side and shows society something different from what they're used to seeing.
Welcome to the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and this is the show where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. And today we are talking to the star of From Younghood to Manhood, Charles Mann. Thanks for coming on the couch today, Charles.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Charles Mann's new show, From Younghood to Manhood, starts November 14th at 7 p.m. That's a Tuesday. Make sure that you guys tune in on the Live Network, and that's www.watchthelivnetwork.com. So tell us about this show.
What we're doing is just pretty much trying to paint a picture and actually show everybody what actually goes down in some of the households of certain black men. There's a label and stereotype that pretty much a lot of people, just want to throw on us, and we just pretty much want to kick down all doors and actually show that it's a lot of young men that's actually in their children's lives that actually want to do better for them, that's actually trying to, motivate them, share wisdom and knowledge on them, and actually, put them up in a better situation than from what we actually came from. So.
Good deal, good deal. I think with a lot of black young men, there have been, I don't want to call it a campaign that's really been happening, but you do see a lot on social media where there's young African American males that are braiding their daughters' hair, they're getting them ready for school, and these are things that they want to portray and allow us to be able to see those things. What are some of the things, let's do this. Let's go back. Let's take it back. Because when we really want to lay that foundation of who Charles Mann is, I know that you were this, upcoming rapper in Fort Myers, and you had a different type of lifestyle. What was your lifestyle at that particular time?
At that time, I was running fast. I was moving real fast. I was in the street life. I was doing a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have been doing, so it actually brought a lot of trouble my way and a whole bunch of, negativity to my life. But, ultimately, after my children actually came into this world, it's like a transformation from there. So, we moving on to bigger and better things right now.
Cool. So when you think about the transformation that happened from that particular lifestyle to this lifestyle, elaborate a little bit more on why you made that change or that transformation happen.
My oldest, Talia Man, should be 6 this month. It got to a situation where I'm in and out of jail repeatedly for multiple different charges. And for me to talk to her over a phone, and she asked me, well, where are you at and where are you going and how long you gonna be gone, it kind of put a burden on me. When she would actually come and visit me, see me in jail, incarcerated, and I'm lying to her over the phone. Every time I talk to her, Daddy out of town. Daddy trying to actually, I'm working. I'm lying to her, I'm working. Well, when you be home? Well, Daddy not sure, but whenever I get this job done, I'll be back. I'm not gonna leave you too long. So, it was a painful feeling for me. It was real painful feeling for me. And, eventually she caught on. As she got older, they ain't nothing but sponges. They start realizing things, and she ended up realizing, no, Daddy, you're not at work. You in jail again, ain't it, Daddy? That right there was like a stake through my, my heart. It didn't sit right with me. That's when I knew that we got to do something different.
Right. So then you have another daughter.
Yes.
Tiana.
Yes.
And what did you do different with this particular child than you had done before?
With her, I pretty much already knew we need to make a change, but I didn't hit the ground running like I probably should have at that time. But everything takes time. But when it came to her, it was like, okay, we got to do something different. I was actually incarcerated at the time, right before, I think it was a few weeks before she was actually birthed. So, and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to get out or not. I also had another charge in another county that I had to, take care of. So that particular situation, and I was able to move around and, bounce out and actually get my case out the way, and I was actually able to see the birth and everything. But it was with her, nah, let's do something different. Let's do something different. I actually talked to a few friends of mine while I was in, and we were talking about trade schools and things of that nature. So, when I actually found out how long you can go to school and actually get in and get out and, try to pursue something with your life, it's like, okay, well, why not do that? Let's go ahead and do that. So, I ended up enrolling in Tulsa Welder School, which was in Jacksonville. Did that 7 months of school and never looked back since.
Right.
Never looked back.
Congratulations on everything that you have done.
Thank you.
The effort and everything. I'm very proud of you for everything that you have done.
Thank you.
I want to really talk about the time that you were in school. When you first got there, you're away from your daughters. You have pretty much outside of, when you were incarcerated, you have been in their lives a lot and you've done a lot with them.
Yeah.
So talk to us about what that felt like. You were trying to do the right thing, but then also you had, you're missing your kids. So talk to us about what that felt like.
It was actually, let me give credit to my father. I'm going to give credit to my father right now before we even pursue. Continue. I got to give that credit to him because without him, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it. But my situation when I got out there, everything I'm doing now is legal. It's no more, illegitimate, businesses or anything like that. Everything I'm doing is legal. I want to make sure that when I'm going to school, I have no reason to be looking over my shoulder. So when I actually got down there got up there and actually started going to school, and I'm loving the scenery, I'm loving everything about the campus, I'm feeling good about it, but not being able to see them hurt me to my core. And there was plenty of times that I would try to call, because I went from seeing my children every day to not being able to see them. So I replaced those visits with phone calls. And then when my children's mother, she couldn't keep a phone on, and I couldn't find out what was going on. So I'm lost. I'm way out of town and I'm lost. I don't know where my children are. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. So, there was plenty of times that I broke down, and there was plenty of times I actually called my father and had to talk to him, and I'm about to go back. I gotta go back. And he telling me, don't go back to what you know. You can't. You gotta do something different. You have to do something different. Because at the end of the day, this sacrifice right here is gonna put you in a better space. If you wanna be able to take care of your children the way you need to take care of them, you gotta sacrifice right now. You have to. So, like I say, it was multiple times where I literally almost quit and just caught a Greyhound and went back home. I know if I was to go back, I can do what I want to do, and I'll be able to see them, and I'll be able to take care of them. But then what happens after that?
Right. So you go through the school, you get your certificate,
Yes,
and tell us what happens after that day that you graduate.
Well, after I graduate, I didn't get a job right after, but after I graduated, probably a few months later, I actually went back to the school. What goes down is they have a program, what they call Phase 11 for like the graduates, where they actually link you up with a bunch of different companies that they work with. So a lot of different companies that come through and recruit from them. So I actually looked into a couple of companies actually, and Excel Specialized came down. I was able to, give myself a solid job, making good money, and actually, move around and actually go out there and actually work. So they put me in a place to where I'm able to do for my children now. I'm able to better take care of them. Though I'm still going through a lot of issues, I'm still financially set to actually take care of any needs that they have. But it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress because I'm not where I need to be at yet. So we still building.
Still building. So tell me about, here it is now that, you're making good money. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of young men who never even see that opportunity. Mm-hmm. They never even realize that is even something that they could even strive for. Especially, coming from the situation that you have come from. You stated that you have been locked up in and out of jail. Normally, in most cases, most young black men who have that type of lifestyle don't turn their lives around.
Yeah.
How hard was that to even just do that?
It was very hard. It's a challenge because, at the end of the day, regardless of what the charges are or how long you've been going, at the end of the day, a lot of people still see this when you're filling out applications. When you're filling out those applications, they see you as a piece of paper. They don't really see you as a person. They don't talk to you and have a conversation with you and actually get to know you. So when you in a situation like that, I mean, yes, you may have made several mistakes or a mistake. One mistake can pretty much, I don't want to say put a nail in your casket, but it can definitely hurt you in the long run. And, you know, just trying to get an opportunity and actually keep going with it, it's very tough. It's very tough. It's not as easy as a lot of people think, but it all depends on the person. You have to be a strong person. You have to be dedicated. You have to know what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it and how bad do you want it. So, I mean, anybody can do it, but, you know, it comes down to what you want. How hard are you actually going to hit the ground running with it?
Right. So you've moved from one state to a whole other state. What's it been like? What's it really been like living in the state that you're living in, Iowa? Like, what's that like?
It's crazy. It's very, very crazy. It's a whole nother ball game. I mean, it's a cool environment though. It's a cool environment. You know, the people friendly and everything, but it's just a big culture shock. It's no diversity at all. So, you know, you tend to get a lot of stares anytime you ride by or walk by or wherever it is you at, you're going to get stared at like, where is he coming from? Or, we know he's from not around here. But one thing I can say is the cost of living is very cheap though, which benefits me a whole lot, you know, but I mean, friendly people, good people, just different, just no diversity.
Yeah.
No diversity.
So you've moved to a whole other state. You've been able to, you know, take care of yourself and, you know, take care of your girls at this particular point.
Yeah.
There's so much that happens when we're transforming. What's the difference between younghood and manhood? What's the difference between the rapper and now the man?
Younghood had no responsibilities. Younghood was a free man. Younghood could move how he wanted, do what it was that he wanted, and really didn't care anything about repercussions. You know, he wasn't worried about consequences. You know, it was all about him. He was for self. When those two little girls actually came into the picture, that was my transformation. That was my growth. That let me know right there. It's not just about me. It's these two little girls that I gotta make sure they eat. I gotta make sure they're clothed. I have to make sure that they get the education that they need. You know, they need a father. It's a lot of women who actually went through their childhood without a father. It's a lot of men who went through their childhood without a father. And the end results, I don't want to say the end results, but you know, it hurts our generation, it hurts our culture, it hurts us as a people. You know, I don't want my little girls to have to make the same mistakes that I made. You know, I don't want them to have to keep on repeatedly bumping their head over and over and over. I want them to learn from what I came from and what I did and actually see, like show them. Your father has a success story of his own. Now let's go ahead and get you together. What do we need to do for you? I'm gonna make sure that, you know, your life is as easy as possible. Make sure you learn that nothing is given to you, but it's my job to make sure that you're taken care of. So, you know, those little girls, I owe them everything. I owe them everything. I'm the man I am today because of them.
Wow. And what man is that now?
I'm a hard worker. I'm dedicated. I'm goal-oriented, family-oriented. You know, I'm a father. And I love being a father. I think that's the best title that I can place on myself. And it feels good. It feels real good to say that I'm a father to two beautiful little girls, two beautiful princesses. You know, I am a father. I didn't really see this, you know, when I was younger. I didn't too much think of it or about it when I was younger. I'm a father. That's who I am.
Wow. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to let that marinate just a little bit, that he's a father. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Elevation Nation Media Group, an entertainment agent for media coverage and access. We create and produce inspired development video and audio content such as films, short films, documentaries, talk shows, transformational reality shows, radio shows, podcasts, PSAs, commercials, video profiles, and video resumes. Why Elevation Nation Media Group? Because we elevate you by any means necessary. Contact us at www.elevationnationmedia.com.
Focus. The state or quality of having or producing clear definition. Focus One Entertainment is the premier videography company in the Midwest. We specialize in weddings, corporate events, documentaries, sporting events, and films. Regardless of the scope or budget, we approach every project the same way, by capturing and clearly defining your vision. Contact us at 313-444-3638 or www.focusoneentertainment.com.
And we are back. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and this is the show where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. And today we're talking about the story of Charles Mann, from younghood to manhood. You have had a life of struggle. Would you dare to say most of the life that you have of struggle, that it was maybe to your own, in your own hands? Or do you feel like, a lot of things that you went through was due to no fault of your own?
I did have situations where I want to say they were probably no fault of my own, but I also want to blame karma. Karma is a big issue, and I definitely believe in it, because there was a lot of things that I was doing that I know I had no business doing. It's a lot of things that I've done that I know I've never, so things come back to you tenfold, and I'm still going through things now, and I feel like I'm still paying for a lot of stuff. Still, whether it may not be in the same realm or, in the same negativity that I may have put out, but it's still coming back to me to this day.
Right. How hard is it when you know that you are living right and you're doing the right things, and you still are paying for some of the issues or some of the things that you have done in your past?
I just think of it like this: it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. I'm still succeeding. I'm still doing good for myself. I'm still in a better place than I once was. So it could be a lot worse than what it is. I could be sitting in the jail cell. I could not ever see my daughters again. So I try to stay positive about it. I try to stay humble. I just try to keep my same energy and just keep on going. And not look back.
So in the space of not looking back, what does going forward look like for you?
It's bright. It's very, 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 very bright. There's a lot of things that I want to do. There's a lot of things I'm not going to speak about right now. We're still actually trying to put things in the works. But, I see myself raising my daughters. I see myself, making a future for them, laying a foundation for them. Everything that I do right now, every seed that I plant, they're going to be the ones who actually bear that fruit. So I'm just trying to set myself up and, make sure that my kids are taken care of. But I definitely feel like my future is bright.
Yep. So tell us what we're going to see and what we're going to feel when we watch this show.
Pain, regret, excitement, joy, happy. I'm going to give you everything. The good with the bad, But I definitely think that after watching this show and actually following my journey, that it'll start to give a lot of people, a second opinion when it comes to young black men. Start seeing us in a different light. Like, okay, well, maybe they do love their family. Maybe they are family oriented. You can't blame a few mistakes on a person, or take a few mistakes that a person might have made, and just judge them off of this. Anybody can change. Anybody can change, and I just want to show people that ultimately we love our children. We love our children. We want to do for our children, and we're going to make those sacrifices necessary to do that. It's a lot of men just like me, a lot of fathers just like me, but for some reason society doesn't see it. I'm hoping that this actually exposes that side and shows society something different from what they're used to seeing.
Right. When you and I were talking before, and you were talking about how that during the time that you were incarcerated, and you're talking to other men who are fathers who were incarcerated, and some things that they find out about their children and how they feel when they're in jail and cannot really even help their kids out. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, when you're in a space to where you're all you see is these four walls. All you see is these four walls. Only time you can really connect with the outside is when you're on the phone or you're getting mail. And for you to find out something like your child is being beat by another man, when you find out that your children's mother is being beat by another man in front of your children, you know, when you find out that your uncle has touched your child or something like that, and you not being there to protect them, it's a painful feeling, a very, very painful feeling. And I've seen a lot of different incidents where, you know, these incidents that have actually taken place, and you know, your job solely as a father is to protect your children. If you can't do your job, that's a painful feeling. If you're being prevented from doing your job, that's a painful feeling. That hurts. That hurts. And I never had to experience anything to that nature, but just not being there for my children. Knowing that I'm the financial support of them, I take care of them, and not being able to take care of them, that hurts. And what do you love to do? What do you love to do? So it's on us to actually, you know, rehabilitate ourselves and make sure that we do what we have to do when we do get placed back into society, to actually take on that responsibility and make sure that it doesn't happen again. But it's a painful feeling, a very painful feeling.
Yeah. So what is the major instance that happened in your life for you to say, you know, I have to change? You know, outside of, you know, because you have these children, what specific incident happened that made you say, I've got to do something different?
Let me see. I've battled many different cases, and my children's mother, love her to death, but you know, she's not really financially set to take care of my children. You know, I was always that one. And I don't really want to say it was a specific incident. I really can't say that, but I know what I was for my children when I was out. So it got to a point where, you know, with me being in and out over and over, it was just, I have to do something different. You know, I have to do something different. I can't sit there and say it was one specific time, because this happened repeatedly, you know. And it got to a point where a lot of my cases I beat. It could have went the other way. So if I'm not there for my children, like, who's going to be there for them? Who? Like, I love my family. to you know, to life. But at the end of the day, I don't believe no one's going to take care of my children the way I will. You know, I don't think nobody's going to go as hard for my children the way I will. And if I'm not there for them, what is there to do? Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to take on that responsibility? I need to be out there. So that's what it was for me. I need to be out here. I can't keep going down the road that I'm going down. I have to do something different. So I want to just put it on one instant.
Okay. So when you think about you know, what you're going through now, and you're living this life, you've turned yourself around 180 degrees. What's that feel like for you?
It's an amazing feeling, honestly. It's a very amazing feeling. You know, I remember walking around with $4,000 or $5,000 in my pocket and just, you know, this is me. I can do what I want. I can move around. I can go out of town, have a good time. But again, like, that little money came with a lot of different repercussions, you know. So for me now to have my own place, and I don't carry that much money on me now, it's all in my bank account. I get direct deposit. But it's still there, right. You know. So, I mean, it's a good feeling. I mean, I'm still making good money. I'm still able to move how I want to. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to worry about getting robbed. I don't have to worry about police kicking in my door. I don't have to worry about police looking for me and anything. You know, it's a good feeling. It's a very, very good feeling. And then it's legit. It's legit. You know, and I know what I had to sacrifice to get here. So I think that's the biggest thing for me right now, just knowing what I had to sacrifice and knowing how hard it was to get here. And now, you know, still being able to do what it is that I want to do and not have to worry about, you know, any negativity coming back on me for this. You know? So it's a good feeling.
So during this particular time, you know, changed your life. Everything's all good.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your relationship like with your girls? Let's talk about your girls. How old are they?
My oldest will be 6 in October. My youngest will be 3 in November. When it comes to my oldest, or at least at one point, and I actually speak about this in the show, during the show, it's kind of different now. You know, there's still things going on. But, you know, at one point, I could do no wrong in my daughter's eyes. I was like Superman to her. You know, she loves her daddy. She knows anytime daddy come get me and we jump in the car, we going out, we having a good time, we going to the beach, we go-kart, golfing, miniature golfing and everything. You know, I can do no wrong in her eyes, at least at this point, you know. And as time went on, and with all the space in between us now, it kind of put us in a place to where she still loves me. She still loves me, but there'll be certain times where I don't see, or I'm not talking. I feel like I'm not talking to the same little girl that I once was talking to before. You know, so it's been almost 2 years since I seen him. Almost 2 years since I seen him. Talk to him every day, like I say, unless, you know, I can't get in contact with them because their phone may be dead or something of that nature. But, you know, it's getting a little different. It's getting a little different. She's growing up, you know, she's seeing things, she's hearing things, and it's kind of heartbreaking. You know, it's kind of heartbreaking. It's a few of the situations and instances that I'm actually going through now. But, you know, she still loves her daddy, Dylan. We play the emoji game. That's her favorite game. We actually, you know, we talk on the phone, speakerphone, and we texting each other emojis. And I got to figure out what she's trying to say. She has to figure out what I'm trying to say. And she's a very, very bright little girl. Very bright little girl. Very bright. Things that I probably wouldn't have came up with. She's very bright, but, you know, I'm her father. She loves me. When it comes to my youngest, she's a whole nother, you know. I left when, excuse me, I don't even like saying that, but I went to school. I moved out the city to go to school when she was only 2 months. So from the time that I left, I actually went back and seen her 2 or 3 times in between then. I still try to talk to her on the phone, but she was young at the time. But I still sit on the phone with her and just listen to her make noises, whatever. She might not even talk to me, but she'll walk around with the phone and be talking to everybody else. And I just sit there listening, quiet, listening. Because, you know, I want to feel like I'm there. If I can't be there, let me at least imagine that I'm there.
Right.
You know, so just visualizing everything, but it's not the same with her because she knows I'm her father, but at the end of the day, she's kind of distant with me. You know, so from time to time, I can get her out and she can actually talk to me and love you, daddy, and things of that nature. But for the most part, she's real distant with me. You know.
So would you say, although, you know, you had to make this change, and the change was for the better for you and your family, and it has, like you said before, it came with sacrifices, and the sacrifice to be better, and still there's a distance between you and your girls.
Yeah.
What I know, you know, we don't want to get into the whole situation of what's specifically going on, but what are some things that you believe that as a father that you would be able to help in this situation with your girls, if at all?
The financial stability, just showing them something different, you know. Like we said, we're not going to get too in depth with the current situation at the time, but when it comes to what they're seeing right now, I don't agree with. I really don't agree with. When it comes to the things that they're hearing, I don't agree with. you know, and my life is so much different, you know, my family is so much different, you know, so it when you coming up, if all you see is this, you're gonna grow up and that's all you know. So if you don't have another opportunity or another alternate view, that's what you're gonna go to and that's what you're gonna stick to, you know, and those are the characteristics and, you know, the image that you're just gonna follow behind. And it's, I want to be the person that actually shows them something different. I want to get them out and see a whole nother life than what they're actually living now. That's where I come in. That's where I come in, but it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of dedication to actually get my situation resolved right now. But I need to be the one to actually take the blindfolds off of their eye. You know, that's my ultimate goal right now. Take the blindfolds off and actually show them something new.
We are going to take a break. We are talking with Charles Mann from the hit show. We're going to call it a hit. From Younghood to Manhood. It will be airing November 14th, which is a Tuesday, at 7 p.m. on the Live Network at www.watchthelivnetwork.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, Detroit, and welcome to the secret society of twisted storytellers, where real people tell true stories live on stage. No notes, no poetry or Dr. Seuss, just the truth from their lips to your listening hearts and minds. Stories so raw and revealing, so hilarious, human and healing, they will move and inspire you. Take a break from what you usually do. Come out, connect, meet old friends and new. Every third Friday at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. Visit www.secretstorytellers.com to watch videos and for info and tickets today.
Welcome back to the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and this is the show where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. And we are talking with Charles Mann. He is the star of the show From Younghood to Manhood. And this show is one where you will be talking about a lot of things that have happened in your life in depth. And we don't want to give a whole lot away here on the Conversations with Kai Mann show. But what we do want to do is tell people why they should really watch the show.
I feel like the show is very, very enlightening. Again, I feel like it's painting a picture that a lot of people in society do not get to see. I feel like it's very informative, very heartwarming. And, you know, it's genuinely just putting you in a whole nother space. You know, you can't always judge a book by its cover. You actually have to read a few lines before you can actually get somewhere. So, you know, that's all it really is.
Yeah.
Just come watch it.
Just come watch it.
Just come watch it.
And you said something about not judging a book by its cover. Do you believe that that you yourself as Younghood have been judged?
Yo, I'm still being judged. I feel like everybody, you know, is judged, regardless of what race you are, what background you come from. I feel like everybody gets judged, you know. And what it is that you're judging them on, you can't really say unless you know them genuinely. Characteristics, traits, you know. What is it I'm trying to do? Come talk to me. Before you do get the judgment on in a negative light, come talk to me. That's all you have to do. But I feel like everybody gets judged pretty much.
Yeah.
So I try not to let it worry me too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us too, during the show, I know you answered some questions about some things. Is there something, you know, on the show that you talk about that was very difficult for you?
Just ultimately pretty much feeling like my children are being ripped away from me. You know, I know what type of father I am. I know how much I love my children. I'm very, very, very family oriented. Very family oriented. And again, like, I go from seeing my children all day, every day, to not being able to see them, and then still getting certain opportunities where I feel like I may be able to reach out and come see them or something, and, you know, things not going the way that they should. You know, ultimately, just pretty much, I really feel like I'm being ripped away from my children. And I want to be in their lives. I want to do for them. I want to be able to speak to them. I want them to see me. I don't want them growing up thinking that, oh yeah, daddy ain't trying. No, I'm trying very hard, and hopefully they'll realize that one day.
Yeah. So what advice could you give to maybe other fathers who are in your situation maybe right now, or not even in your situation right now, but in your previous situation? You know, before you have gotten to this particular space, right when you were going into school, what can you share with people or young men who were going through that very same thing?
Ultimately, it's never too late. It's never too late to make a change. As long as God puts breath in your lungs, it is never too late. You just gotta stay focused and dedicated to what it is that you really want to do. But at the end of the day, one mistake is all it takes. It comes down to you. When are you gonna make that change? You know what it is you gotta do. But that life only leads to two things: incarceration or a grave. Luckily, I was able to, come out of my situation on top, but anybody can do it. It's just, do you want to do it? But you gotta make a change. You gotta do better for yourself and for the little ones that you actually bringing up. You have to. You owe it to them. You don't owe yourself that. You owe it to them. But hopefully we can get this message across to a few people. Hopefully this show actually, inspires a spark in somebody's brain to actually make that change and do better for their children.
Right. So at this particular space in your life, you're a welder now, and
yes, ma'am.
You're enjoying what it is that you do. What about the life that you're living right now that puts joy in your heart? What gives you joy? What gives you satisfaction right now?
Right now, at one point, we used to make bets. A lot of people kind of figure like, you're not gonna last out here for more than 4 months. You'll be back in jail. Wow. Now I'm gonna do a little better this time. And then 2 weeks later, I'm back in jail. 3 weeks later, I'm back in jail. 4 months later, I'm back in jail. And actually, going a full year with not being incarcerated and talking to a friend back home, and she was just, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You came far. And she knows a lot of the situations that I've been through. She knows me personally. So me being free, my freedom means everything to me. My freedom means everything to me. I don't take it for granted at all. So I feel like that's where I get the most joy at. Just being able to walk to my own refrigerator when I feel like it. To be able to walk outside and just enjoy the sun whenever I feel like it. That right there, that's what brings me the most joy.
Wow. A lot of times, we go through life and we don't really understand the freedoms that we have until those freedoms are taken away from us. And a lot of times we don't see, just the smallest things that can help you to just feel free.
Yes.
And you've been able to turn your whole entire life around where you are freer than you've ever been before.
Yes.
You talked to me a little bit. We were talking earlier, and you were talking about your job and how that you don't take it for granted, and how there's a lot of people, on your job that take it for granted. Yeah. And what does an actual job mean for you?
For me, it means longevity. It means support. It means it's everything. Like I actually enjoy waking up and going to work. My job, I have a cool job, very cool job, but just knowing that this is always going to be here for me. I don't have to worry about getting laid off, or I don't have to worry about anything, outside of that. It feels very good to me. It feels very good to me. Like, sometimes on the weekends, I be ready to go to work. Let's go back. I'm not doing anything an hour anyway. Let's go back. But I'm proud to say that I actually have a job, and I've been able to hold a job for a year and a half right now. Mm-hmm. I'm doing good, and since I've been here, I've been in a better space. I've been able to take care of what I need to take care of. My kids need anything, I'm there. So, and every day seems like Christmas for them. I think the UPS and FedEx guy know them perfectly. So, this job is everything for me.
That's cool. When you think about, the show, and you're thinking about where it is that you're going, with the show, what is it that you really hope that the show really promotes for, you, to help you go through?
I don't even want to say just me, I feel like this show, I want what I want for this show, what my goal is for the show, is to not only help me, but actually help a lot of young men who've been in similar situations that I've been in. I need for other people around men like this to see this show and want to do more for those men in similar situations. Because it takes a village to raise a child. So.
And tell us why it's like really so important for the people that are around these men that are trying to take care of their children to help them or to see this show.
We don't really have a lot of role models, and if we do have role models, they're probably not people that we need to be role models. A lot of us tend to look up to dope boys. A lot of us tend to look up to the individuals who are heavy in the streets, who have all the money, who have all the women. But 5 years from now, where are they? It was actually a situation of a friend of mine that I know. I was actually locked up with him as well. And, he's an old head. Been doing his thing for the longest. Had cars, women, everything. And a lot of people look up to him. And I actually seen him probably a year or two later. And he's working at Walmart. And I'm not criticizing anybody who works for Walmart, because I was actually proud of him. I was actually very, very, very proud of him. You came from this and now you're doing something else. At the end of the day, the money that you may accumulate from this, the lifestyle that you may have once had, I can guarantee you're not going to have it down the line. So when is that, when is your brain going to actually realize that we have to do something different as people? I want to be a role model to you. I want to help you out. So I need for all of us collectively to start looking out for each other, to start talking to each other, having conversations like this with each other, to actually better us, grow. Our community, we slowly falling off. But I need for men, not little boys, but I need for men to actually step up and do something different and actually start bringing up our brothers. So that's what I'm hoping with this show. I'm hoping that this show does that.
Awesome. Well, how is it that, if some young man wants to talk to you, how can they reach you?
You can reach me via email, charlesman41@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Charles Mann. And I don't really be on my Twitter too much, so I'm not going to throw that out there. But Instagram, YoungHood239, and I'm always on social media, so go follow me.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You are quite welcome. This has been the Conversations with Kai. Mann show. Thank you and good night.
miss a conversation with Kai Mann, watch anytime on any of these platforms.